Today I'm going to make a feeder just for my spice finches. Wait a minute. That's not a spice finch in my new feeder. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful.
Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California, and it's almost 2 in the morning. I was sleeping, I woke up, and I remembered I needed to make this, so I'm going to make it with you. Hope everybody's doing well. This is going to be a bird feeder, better than the one I made before, because as I'm using it, I get to see what's working and what's not working. So as you know, I made the bird feeder with the basket and the mat. The mat's been real important. That's just a tablecloth from Dollar Tree. It's not a tablecloth, it's a placemat. But you could use a tablecloth if you have an old one you're throwing out. You can cut it and make it fit. You could use anything, material, fabric. So this is what I ended up getting. This is a cooling rack. Now, you may have your own wire, or you could skip this if you wanted to, kind of. You can kind of tweak it differently, but you'll see what I'm going to do here. So this is a cooling rack. So it's going to cost me about $3, and you could do it less if you wanted to do it differently. And this is a placemat. Now this placemat is rough, and if it gets wet, the water's going to go through it, so it's really, really good. Now I got 2 of these wire baskets. Dollar Tree has them everywhere. Go look in the house department, houseware department. They've got them sometimes in where they've got the trash cans, wherever they think somebody might use it for a certain place in your house. We're going to put this together, and we're going to make this a trap door. I just don't know if I want to go this way or this way. So what's been happening in the yard with these bird feeders I made, the first one, it's worked because I have feeders all over the place, and the birds come in, including the doves, even squirrels, and this way everybody's got their own spot. So with this feeder, being that the squirrels can't get in it, and the doves can't really get in it either, the doves go to other bowls, and in the meantime, the small birds come to here. The spice finches, especially, I think they've got babies. I know that the songbirds got babies right outside the bird garden. It's so cute in the elephant food. It's adorable. We're so excited because every time Gary goes out there, I go out there. She shakes herself off because she was on the nest and runs and gets food, and nobody else can get in here, if they're big. Now, once in a while, when the food starts to run down, because the pigeons come in and the doves and take everything, I have found that when it's a single height like this, let's move this out of the way for a minute, the doves, have sat on top and tried to get their beak through. It takes them longer. The small birds can get in there and get the food first, but they're there. And I also found the squirrel the other day who simply lifted it up, ate what he wanted, and closed it. So we're going to make this a little more difficult. Though we have tweaked the one outside now where you can't lift it, we're going to do this differently and make it a little bigger, and I can use a bigger bowl in here too. So the first thing we're going to do, I hope that's not in the way. Let's see if I can put this, I'll put this on my lap right now. So I want to attach this. Now I don't know if I'll have to make any holes. I don't have my soldering iron. So we're going to do it 2 ways. Let's take a look at this, because I can put this on afterwards. Sorry, plant. Okay. I want this here. And I want to make sure that we're going to do it this way. So I think I am going to have to put this first. Now, I do want it to hang. Let me say one thing. If you didn't want it to hang, it'll be real simple to put together, but I do want it to hang. So I'm going to open this up and analyze how we're going to do this. Because this one from Dollar Tree only has 3, so I don't know if I'll need 2 hangers to put together. But it's worked out so good. It's made everybody have their own pecking order of where they're eating. So it's worked out fantastic. All right, now it may work. I want to see how long the chain is. I may have to have an extra chain, which is easy because I could just buy an extra one and put one on here. Let's see. I can't go shorter. I was going to take a few chains off. Yeah, I can't. All right, hold on. Back to the drawing board, which I don't have to go that far. So I do have an extra one. So let's take a look at this and see how the chain is, because I'm going to hang it, and I will get some tables or different mountings later because there's so many feeders these days. What was interesting is they're different. This has a small hook, and this one I like has a really big hook. So I hook mine on branches. Here. All right. Where'd the hook go? There's the hook. Oh, they do it this way. Yeah, they made the package smaller, and they made the hooks bigger, which is kind of interesting. See if it's the same size. A little longer, but that could work. Is it longer or is the hook bigger? You know what? I'm going to take one off of here, and it leaves me chains to do other things with. Now, I could do it 3, but I want to do it this way. Boy, are they strong. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, I did get it. All right, so let's get this out of the way, because I definitely don't need this. So you may have to buy 2 if you want to use 3. I'm going to use 3. Let's see. Can always tweak it later. There you go. Now they're all exactly the same. So I can hook that on afterwards. All right. Now, yeah, this has been so it'd be 100 times easier with the soldering iron. All right. So I'm going to make 2 holes and start putting these on. I could do it this way so I can see what I'm doing over the edge, and that will keep the mat in place. Now, I have had in bad windstorms the mat come off, and I could cut it later wherever I'm going to hook it later. So we're just going to put a simple zip tie somewhere. I wonder if I could just make the hole while I'm waiting for it to heat up. You're not that short. Okay. Doesn't really matter where. You can't see, but I'm just making 2 holes. Yeah, once it warms up, it would be easier. I'm telling you, I used to watch everybody do their projects, and I thought, oh my gosh, drills and all that. I didn't like using drills. And so one day, many, many years ago, I decided I'm going to go with a soldering iron. Because I was using a soldering iron for the same method of things make when I used to make jewelry. Yeah, I'll have to make one more hole. And that's why I started using it for gardening and different projects, because I was already using it. I'm going to tell you something. I saw nobody using it. It was so funny. I used to watch these, those kind of fake videos. I'm going to call them fake. A lot of them are, but some of them are very creative from different countries. And they would put things together really quick, and they would use a drill. And it was like, oh my goodness. Well, after I started using the soldering iron, they changed over from the way they were doing it. Everybody suddenly, even in these little villages, they all had suddenly, isn't that cool? They suddenly all had soldering irons. Well, it made the life easier no matter what video they were making. It was really funny. Yeah, this has just been something I've always thought of out of the box. I never use things the way they're supposed to be. So I know you can't see, but I'm making a hole on either side. And being that this is a type of plastic, it's just going through on both sides. And this will keep this in place. I could always do something else later. I could use wire. Don't have to use that. A wire would have slipped right through. Sorry that you can't see, but you know what I'm doing. Just so I can catch the wire on here and bring it through wherever I made the other hole. Where is it? There it is. And now it will just simply hold it in place. And I don't need a lot of zip ties. Can always add more if you want later on. Okay. Love zip ties. Did you know you can put a zip tie out and a hummingbird will sit on it like if you didn't cut it? We've seen them. They use them for purchase. Okay, let's move that over. All right, so now we have that. And now it's not going to blow off or anything. Now the next one, let me unplug. I don't need that anymore. I will need it because I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put this on somewhere. Okay, because I don't want this going anywhere because the chain's going to hold on like that. Now this gives this flap placed here for the little birds to come on. They land on here and they go through the wire. Some of them look fluffy and big. That's what they are. They're fluffy. They can squeeze in and out. It's amazing how fast they get in and out. All right. Now I could do it different ways. I can bring it all the way over. Can't do it this way. It will hang over. Oh, I could. Hold on. If I do it this way, this gives them more of a platform. Do I want to do more of a platform? Yeah, I'm wondering. Gives them more of a landing spot. It also gives more of a landing spot for the doves, and then they put their heads through. So they'd have to reach my bowl. I'm thinking of going with, I've got a couple of these bowls. Oh my gosh, these bowls are terrific. 50 cents at Walmart. And they're plastic and nice. I've got all kinds of ideas. Putting a bowl in the center. The pink one shows up. We'll use the pink one right now just because it shows up so well. Ooh, so which way should I do it? Should I do it this way? I'm going to go the way I planned. If I don't like it, I'm going to make another one anyways. I'll change the other one and then compare it. This gives a good platform for the small birds to land on because they land on the edge, but I really do like that. I really do like that. I mean, the doves will be able to reach. That's the problem. But they can't eat a lot because now they have to really work hard. So they will kind of reach over. Somebody asked me, you have something against doves? No. But the problem is they can eat 50 pounds of food. If a couple dozen come in really quick because they swallow everything. Little birds, they sit there and they take the shell off. They don't take the shell off. They swallow everything whole. And then they eat everything fast. And then the small birds come who have a lot of nests around here. And then they don't have any food. Okay, so now I got to make holes on the bottom. Let's get some more zip ties. I'll need quite a few zip ties now.
I'm going to speed this up here because you know what I'm doing. I'm making holes with my hot soldering iron through the table mat, the placemat, and it's going to be held with zip ties on each side of the wire. So it's just going to go up and down like you're sewing, and you're just putting on a bunch of zip ties. You could use wire, you could use whatever you want, but this will hold that placemat in place, and this way the seeds won't go out the bottom. The seeds will be on the top. Anything that kind of goes on the outside, the big birds can grab those, and the small birds can sit inside, and even if the seed comes out of the tray, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to sit there until they eat it. So it's going to work really good, and it's more comfortable for the birds too.
I remember the first time it fell off the mat. Gary said, you know, they're eating the food and kicking it on the ground because they do kick things. So how can they kick it on the ground? There's a mat. And then I go outside and it had blown off. It just slipped off. No, it's not going to go anywhere. I'll probably fix the ones outside. Zip tie the mat on. And what, like I said, and the mat's woven, so when it gets wet outside, it's fantastic because the water goes right through and the seed gets wet, but it doesn't get waterlogged. Same thing with the plate you're going to use. That's what I should have done. Well, I'm not sure which plate I'm going to use. You put holes in it, so if it rains, the water goes through the plate, but the seed stays in there. They'll eat wet seed. They won't eat seed underwater. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is figure out which way we want to open it. I asked Gary what he thought. He said it didn't matter. I'm not sure which way I want to open it. And it depends on how it's going to hang and how you're going to look at it too. I'll probably look at it like that. You know what? I'm going to do this one not the way I was going to do it. I'm going to do it long ways because I think it will work better that way. So I'm going to line them up. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a hinge. It's going to be a big hinge. I'm going to make a hinge. So we're going to do it this way. We'll start on the end. I was going to do it the small way. I'm going to do it this way. If I don't like it next time, I'll change it. And I do want it fairly tight. I just want to make sure whatever happens I can open. Okay, we're going to go to the end here.
I'm back. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just putting zip ties all along one side only. That's it.
If I lay in bed and think, oh my gosh, I can't sleep, what am I going to do? I find that I stress out more. If I get up and do a little something, then you get tired. Like now I'm getting a little tired, and then I'll go back, I'll just fall asleep. Okay, so now we're going to hook one on each end, and if I have to, after I hook it, I can cut the mat on the corners. I've never done this like this, so we'll see how this works. So we'll put one on each corner. I could even zip tie it so it's exactly where I want. If I didn't want to use the hooks that were on there, I could keep the hooks for something else. Reach over and do this one. And if it's lopsided, you can adjust the hooks. Let's go this, and I might zip tie the hooks in place because they're going to be a little bit slipping around everywhere. Because there's a lot of play here. Actually, I should, no, can't do that. That's it. See how it moves around? So I might want to zip tie it right there on each corner. Oh, that is really cool. Okay, we're going to clean this up right now. And this is what I was saying. Let me move this here. I am going to take a zip tie. We're not done yet. We have one more thing I'm going to do. And then I could make holes in the plate. I'm just not sure which plate I want to put in there. See, I can use a food container. I can use a bigger one and use that, cut it down. Here's an old ice cream container I cut down. This is too small. This is my tomatoes. I have to plant these. These are travelers. I could use something like this. This is a pencil box, which I've used before. Take it apart. I have 2 trays, but I'm planting right now in these, and I don't know how many I've got, so I'm not going to use that. So for now, it's not raining. It's not raining. So I think I might not put a hole yet, so I can decide what plate I really want to use tray, in here. But remember, put holes in the tray. All right, so let's see. I'm going to put the zip tie in there. I'm going to hook it on to the wire, but onto another wire as well. Now it cannot move. See, and now it will be more stable. So what I did was I took this, see how the wire is? And I zip tied this now onto this. So the whole thing is zip tied. It's not going to go anywhere. And we'll just cut it. Well, let's take a look at it. Let's see if it works.
So what I did is each corner where the chain is hooked on, I put a zip tie so the
Okay.
chain won't move back and forth.
Where's the blue one? We'll use the blue one because I dropped the pink one on the ground. This will go underneath. Normally feeding them, I can just pour it through. Is that not cool? Now there's one more thing. You're going to go, wait a minute. He's still going to open it. He is. Get these paper binders. And again, you can get them anywhere. They're $1. Everybody carries them. They're metal. I used to use a lot of clothespins, which I do use clothespins in the garden. But these metal ones last for years and years. And they're painted. So I haven't even had them rust. But now you've got a hinge on this. And what you're going to do is you're going to line it back up when you're done, or whenever you want to get in there and clean it, and you're hinged. It can't open. There's no way to open it now, and that's it. And I'm going to hang this out in the morning and see how it does. And that's it. And just finish cutting off some of the zip ties. And I'll show it in action in the morning. This is really nice. I won't have to worry about the mat coming off once in a while. So that's it. So let's get this thing out in the morning. I'm going back to bed. It is after, it's 2:30. Oh, it's 2:30. Have a great day, and don't forget to eat your girl. Bye-bye. That is so cool.
So as you can see, it went out in the morning and there was no issue on who was going to use it. If you can look in the middle, right in the middle, you'll see all the spice finches. But to our surprise, a lazuli came in. And that we didn't expect. We haven't seen them in years. And for them to come straight in, especially this male, to use the cage means he's been coming in the morning before I've seen him because he was so familiar with it. Just flew right in, and aren't they gorgeous? So this has been amazing. Just think, if you cater to the animals around and you are catering to their needs, you never know what you're going to be able to bring in. We're catering to the small type species of birds that need a little help. And obviously, it is paying off because we're really enjoying this and we're sharing this with you. Isn't that something? What a beautiful ending on a bird feeder. Well,